For the sake of transparency, we're going to share all of the considerations we looked at to reach this reduction. We will take all of you through the full list of options considered, then I will offer my recommendations. Again, this is a required step in the process. I do not wish to recommend we make any such reductions to our schools. Please remember, the mayor has noted this is an iterative process, and as such, we won't talk about specific personnel decisions in public. I will provide general numbers, not specific roles or groups or names of staff. This is important as our staff should not be placed in the middle of our budget discussions as individuals. It is our responsibility to advocate for our budget, and when the final budget is determined, we will show grace as we will work with any staff member who may be faced with a transfer. We will not be looking at layoffs or pink slips. We will be looking to actualize the staff shifting through attrition. I'm going to walk you through our considerations first. Our first consideration was looking at our athletics department, a total of $2.839 million. I've broken out for the board and the community what we spend in the various levels. Elementary basketball, $48,000, all the way on up to all of the other athletics costs. Salaries not included in our coaches listed above, insurance, phone, advertising, gas mileage, utilities, city chargebacks, and debt service, coming in just over $1 million. We looked at every one of our current athletic programmings to determine if there was an area for efficiency. In the end, I hold the position that our work on this reduction to our budget had to center on our students. A cut or a pay-to-play structure to fine arts and/or athletics would cause inequities for our students and impact our ABC work, attendance, behavior, and curriculum. I do not believe a cut in this area is in the best interest of our students. Therefore, I will not be making a recommendation to cut our current athletics programs or add a pay-to-play structure to our athletics programming. Our second area of review was a reduction in force. This could account for $2.450 million and up. We started this review with a dive into class sizes with different levels of impact to our teaching pool. We also compared our potential cuts with the vacancy, retirement, and resignation lists. In the end, we settled on a reduction in force that can be actualized through attrition. Please keep in mind, cuts to our teaching pools, especially at the elementary level, will present changes to our class sizes in the elementary level, and we will exceed our policy language of 20 in grades K and 4. Please note, I will be making a reduction in force recommendation this evening, but I want to stress this will all be done through attrition, not layoffs, pink slips, or RIFs. Reduction in force at the district office. The range was between $500,000 to $963,669. My goal was to identify an opportunity to keep as many positions in our schools as possible. If we use our common 15 to 17 teaching positions per million, I knew that I could, in effect, protect some class sizes by pulling positions from our district team. While, yes, we can use the savings to protect teaching positions, I want to strongly caution us that the reductions at the district level will yield some negative outcomes. For example, when I look at our HR department and I see our team of 5 serving 2,000 staff and 900 retirees, and then I compare that number to the team on the city side at 5 full-time employees and 2 part-time for approximately 1,200 employees, I have to take pause. With this cut, we'll have to move some of the demands from the district roles back into the school teams. This will all have a circular effect on productivity. I will be making a reduction in force for the district office this evening. These reductions will also be actualized through attrition. Transportation was another area of consideration. Our cost was looking at $342,000. We reviewed our rosters for all routes to check on the use of the 1.4-mile radius, our policy, with fidelity. We looked at the cost of increasing to the 2-mile radius, which is the law. We looked at charging high school students to ride, and we looked at stopping the use of the tap-on, tap-off system. I want to say when we do make a recommendation in the area of transportation, I want to also undercut my recommendation with the following. When we make a 2-mile radius revision to the expectation for students, it's like walking from here to Elliott Hospital. When we look at the average time to walk that distance, and you think of the age of the walkers, you're looking on average 40 to 50, sometimes 60 minutes. While I do not feel this is a solid recommendation, you will hear shortly that I will make a recommendation to transportation reductions. Our next area was the facilities. Right now, we are placeholding $400,000 in reductions. At this time, we have requested to reopen one of our contracts that covers facilities within our buildings. We're reviewing options for reductions with city chargebacks, and we are investigating the option of hiring 1 to 2 handy persons to field low-level or non-technical recs. You will see later in this presentation that I will be making a recommendation to reduce the contract. However, this work is not fully finalized at this time. School supplies. We're looking at a reduction of about $133,000. This reduction will not impact on paper or toner and will be shared proportionally across all of our schools. You will note in my recommendations a decrease for spending in this area. Athletics expansion, $90,090. This area covers the middle school softball, baseball, wrestling, and unified arts expansions. This year, with some of our one-time spending from our $6.5 million additional adequacy, the team sought to build the foundation for this expansion in the coming budget school year. While I'm not making a recommendation to our current programming, I will be looking to pause on our expansion for the coming year. Use of additional one-time funds. We're looking at about $3,871,522. We have used this item as a very last resort, as we know that by spending down our accounts, we place the district in a difficult situation financially. You will note I'll be making this recommendation shortly. We are also looking to open the recruitment window. The cost savings is to be determined. We'll be discussing this option and seeking your approval this evening to extend the retirement window from December, where the shutoff was, to an extended period of time to allow any additional staff members in the retirement window to take advantage of this option. The cost savings of this option are to be determined. We would be using one-time funds to cover the costs of this proposal. I will be asking for BOSC approval on this item later this evening. A reduction in our contract services line, $1.3 million and up. Our use of contract service providers has been on a steady incline since the pandemic. During this time, we saw a higher demand and a workforce shortage. As a reminder, we use contract service providers for roles such as PT, OT, speech, nursing, paraprofessionals, special ed teachers, and psychologists. On a good note, we have, however, just started to see the workforce shifting in our favor as we've been able to successfully onboard paras at a higher rate, as you will be briefed later this evening. And we have refreshed our recruitment campaigns for PTs, OTs, speech therapists, nurses, and psychologists. I will be making a recommendation to reduce this line item this evening. I'm going to now shift us over to the recommendations to reduce the Board of School Committee approved tax cap compliant budget to be in line with the mayor's budget. My recommendations for budget reductions at this time include the following. Pause the athletics expansion. Decrease supplies at our schools. Increase the walkout to 2.0 miles. Charge high school students for bus transportation and stop the use of the tap-on, tap-off system. Reduce our facility expenses by a reduction on either APA or number of staff needed to meet contract language. A reduction in force at the district office level, including 8 positions or 7.8% of the pool. Reduce our contract service line. Reduction in force, 38 school-based positions or an average of 2.1 of the staffing pool in its entirety. Increase our use of one-time funds and open our recruitment window, which lands us at a total of $9,550,281. In closing, I hope by sharing our process, you will conclude that we have reviewed the budget document line by line and sought responsible reductions to minimize the impact on our students. My hope is that you will reflect on the possible cuts laid out before you this evening and choose our next steps carefully. In addition, I would hope you recognize the good work being done by the district and align with our efforts to continue that work by advocating against reductions. Most importantly, thank you to the students, our staff, our families, our community partners, for what you bring to our district, your hard work, and your successes that you share with all of us.